Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. I apologize for the technical difficulties. We are re-recording from last month due to some technical difficulties. For those of you who know me, technology is not always my best friend, so we're trying this again. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Mallory Sills. I am an image and wardrobe consultant for my company, Image Success by Mallory. I work with women and men throughout the Chicagoland area and the Midwest. And thank you to the wonderful world of the internet, I am able to have clients all throughout the country and the world now, which is really exciting. So I work with people to really help with their wardrobe and tell their story through what we wear. So we're going to go ahead and get started because I know we're starting a few minutes late and I want to be mindful of everyone's time. So today's topic is why yoga pants might be sabotaging your business. And last month when I went to record this, I really got quite the stir. So I was excited to re-record and share with all of you why yoga pants might not be the best option for us. And when I refer to yoga pants, I really mean like anything pajama-like or workout wear type of garments. If you would sleep in it or work out in it, that's kind of what we're referring to. So a couple years ago, the reason I kind of wanted to share about this topic was I've had a lot of people recently, this topic kind of come up about wearing their pajamas all day if they work from home or if they kind of work in a very casual atmosphere, just really not taking a lot of pride in getting ready for the day. And I personally have experienced a time where I'll admit I maybe wasn't getting out of my workout clothes, or I would change into some sweats after I worked out and took a shower. If I wasn't going out and seeing clients or going to any sort of networking event, I'll admit I was being kind of lazy, and I was just kind of like, oh, I'm not seeing anybody, no big deal. But over time, I realized I wasn't getting as much done throughout the day. And honestly, I wasn't feeling really great about myself. And it took me a while to realize why. For those of you who know me, I'm a big list person. I love writing to-do lists. I love checking off what I've done and what I've accomplished. And when I was kind of going through this phase of wearing my yoga pants throughout the day and not really changing, I was getting really frustrated. Like, why am I not crossing off as many things as I would like to or as I normally would? My energy levels were low. And I love what I do. So I always feel like I'm a pretty energetic person, and I like to think of myself as a pretty productive person. So that's why it was frustrating me even more. Why am I not getting enough done? What's going on? What changed? And when I took a step back and I thought about what had changed, and I realized it was because I wasn't really getting ready for the day, I thought, okay, well, that's an easy thing for me to change, right? So the next day, I got out of my yoga pants, put on some jeans, threw on a shirt, put a little powder on my face, and I slowly, after a few days of doing that, I realized I was starting to feel a little bit more energetic. I was feeling more like myself. And I think I really needed to go through that personal experience myself so that I'm able to really tell people, I've been there. I tell everybody I've been in a place of not feeling great about myself. We've all had days where you just get up and you're like, do I really want to get dressed? And I've been there too. We've all had those days, especially if you work from home. I think it's really easy to say, I'm just going to stay in my PJs that day. And that kind of brings us into some of the content I'm going to be sharing. I've been referring to it as kind of a yoga pant phenomenon because it's really been something that has caused quite a lot of stir, and a lot of corporations have even become a little bit more relaxed in their dress codes that they require for people, or they're not really being a dress code. And a lot of universities and psychologists and you name it, a lot of people have really started to take note on, is the more casual dress beneficial or is it hurting our productivity? And it's something that has been studied time and time again. One of the most known studies that has really come about was done at Northwestern University, and they did a study. They took a group of people, they put some people in a lab coat and some people in what they were wearing. And they tested them. They did a number of tests and things like that. And what they actually found was that people wearing the lab coats actually tested higher on attention-based tasks, which I think is really interesting because when we think about working from home and just working, we need to have our full attention on what we're doing, right? So if we're testing higher just based on what we're wearing, that's a really interesting way to think about things. Wow. Okay. So just wearing a lab coat, even if they were not scientists. So even more interesting, right? So if you're putting something on that fits something, a lab coat, and you're not a scientist, but you feel maybe more like a scientist just from wearing it, and you pay more attention or you do better on those types of tests, it's an interesting way to think about things. I read another article that was talking about people, wearing things and kind of changing their thought processes. That kind of goes into what I've been referring to as mind association. A lot of people don't realize that we subconsciously associate certain types of garments with certain types of activities throughout our day. So when we think pajamas, most people think sleep time, rest time. We don't really think work when we're wearing PJs. I mean, it's hard to really feel or think professional when you wear pajamas. I know from experience, when I had my little period of time where I was wearing my PJs, I can admit it was really hard to feel like a business owner when I was wearing PJs all day. And I think a lot of people don't think that, oh, it might be affecting the way that I think and that kind of thing. So our clothes really do have symbolic meanings. When you think of, what you wear to work out, you think workout time when you put those clothes on. So just like a lawyer wears a suit when he or she goes to court, we have to kind of figure out what works with our work wardrobe. So I'm a firm believer in the way we dress is the way we feel. To me, with all of my clients, I always think of, for me, it's about how clothes make you feel. So if you feel really great, you can pretty much do anything you want that day. I'm a big believer in that. So if you don't feel really good, it's hard to do what you have to do and get what you have to get done throughout the day. And I don't know a whole lot of people who can feel really good and really professional in your pajamas. It's just the reality of it. And I like I said, I experienced it myself. And I came across this quote when I was kind of trying to organize my thoughts for this webinar that I think speaks really clearly to this topic, because when you work from home, it's true, no one's seeing you. A lot of times no one sees you, maybe your family or your spouse or whoever is seeing you, but clients typically aren't seeing you if you just work from home. I work from home, as you can see. when I'm not with my clients. So it's easy to say, well, no one sees me. What difference does it make? So I came across this quote that I think speaks really greatly to this topic. And I don't know who said it, but I'll just share it with you. And it's, leadership is doing what is right when no one is watching. So I thought that was a really cool when I came across it, because it's exactly this kind of yoga pants thought process that people have really grown to just feel like is acceptable when you work from home. Well, no one sees me, so what difference does it make? I have a client who, when I first started working with her, she shared me this kind of interesting story. It was kind of fun to hear at the time. Although not funny for her, now she can laugh a little bit about it. She works from home, and she got in this habit of just wearing whatever she kind of rolled out of bed wearing. If she went to work out in the morning, she just stayed in her workout clothes. And she took her lunchtime and she left the house to go run an errand. She went to the grocery store or something really close by her home. And she's like, when I was walking around, all of a sudden I turned a corner and I saw a client. And she said she kind of freaked out for a second, because she thought, oh my gosh, here's this person that pays me money to do what I do for them from my home. And she was embarrassed, because here she was during her workday in her pajamas. And she found herself hiding from her client. She did not want her client to see her dressed like that. And she said when she left, she told herself never again would she stay the day dressed in her yoga pants or in her pajamas, because if she just decided she needed to run out and you run into a client, you don't want your client to see you like that. And so I thought that was really interesting. And shortly after that, she called me because she wanted to figure out what kind of wardrobe would be doable for her, or really realistic for her to wear when she's not going out and seeing clients, because she wanted to feel good about herself, but she also didn't want to spend a ton of time around getting ready. And I totally agree with that. I do like to get ready when I get dressed. Even when I'm not going out and I'm not seeing clients, I like to at least put jeans and a fun, it's just something that makes me feel good. I will put a little bit of makeup on, because for me, it's kind of like setting that tone for the day. And that was another thing that a lot of studies have been finding out, is deciding and kind of determining whether or not, if you stay in your yoga pants throughout the day, are you finding it hard to distinguish work with off work time? And that's something that's really hard to do. I have a number of clients that do work from home, and before they start working with me, they will tell me that they just kind of roll out of bed. Well, my office is right next to my bedroom. It's really easy to just roll out of bed. Excuse me. I'm coming over a cold. I apologize. So it's easy to just roll out of bed and start to work. However, they have found, and I actually read this in Forbes, that it's hard for people to really distinguish between the two. It's harder to switch on and off. So if you're wearing your same clothes that you wear to work when you're not working, it's hard subconsciously to not think, am I in work time or am I in personal time? Which one are we in? And that's something to really consider and think about. Okay, am I able to switch that switch, so to speak? And just like, especially working from home. But they also did this in Forbes. They talked about people who leave the home to work. They suggested for people to actually change out of different clothes from being in your clothes that you worked in all day. Because if you stay in that, your mind is thinking, okay, what do I have to do tomorrow? What am I going to do the rest of the week? all of these things where if you decide to change, when you get home, they found that you're actually able to be in off time a little bit easier in that sense. So I'm a big believer in, yoga pants are fine in moderation. I was joking with someone, it's kind of like medication or supplementation or anything in that matter. Everything is okay in moderation, but if we use or do things too often, it becomes too much of a habit, and it can sometimes be more damaging than good. It's like anything in life. And so I know I had a lot of people that were like, no, I'm productive no matter what I wear. I've had a lot of people who, since I tried to do this recording last month, that said, I'm productive no matter what I wear. And I would encourage you, if you are one of those people that kind of feel like you can be productive no matter what you do, and I hope you are productive, but I think we can all afford to be maybe a little bit more productive. And if just changing out of our yoga pants is one little step that we can do to make that step of getting a few more things done or doing things at a higher level, I think that could be worth it to you. So I think really taking a kind of stepping back and thinking, okay, is this some place in my life that I have room for improvement? And taking a tally, maybe try a couple days of changing out of the yoga pants and kind of taking a tally of, so how much am I getting done versus when I'm in the yoga pants versus not in the yoga pants. I think that could be a really interesting study to do for yourself and see how much more you get done, or even just how much better you feel. Like I said, I find it hard personally to really take myself seriously or really just feel good when I'm in my yoga pants, because we just think everything's comfy. And I think a lot of people misinterpret comfy with being professional. And if you're a business owner, we need to be our brand, whether we're seeing clients or not face to face. And so I really encourage you to think about that. So those are some of my kind of tips and things like that I've found with the yoga pant trait. I will open it up for any questions that anyone has right now. I did get one question and they'll answer right away. And it was from someone who's a personal trainer. And she asked, I'm a personal trainer, so is wearing yoga pants or something workout wear type appropriate for me? And my answer for that would be yes, because I say, just like if you hire a lawyer, it would be a little bit weird for them to show up in a pair of yoga pants. But vice versa, it would be a little bit weird to show up and you're going to go work out with a personal trainer and they're in a suit. That would be a little bit awkward for your client. So yes, I will say that wearing yoga pants as a personal trainer or a yoga instructor is appropriate to do when you're seeing clients, because you're dressing for the occasion and you're dressing to help your clients feel comfortable, because that's how they will be dressed. However, I would like to encourage anyone who is in that type of industry to make sure that we're not only wearing yoga pants and workout wear, because if you're going out and even in your personal time, it's always in the yoga pants. If we're going to networking events and you're still in the yoga pants, that's where we're starting to cross a line of not being professional. Because although you are a personal trainer and you need to look like your brand, it's also a level of, if you're going to a lunch, yoga pants probably are not appropriate when everyone else will be dressed in business or business casual dress code. You want to dress for your audience and your brand. So it's kind of finding that happy medium. Even if it's a pair of like trouser jeans. I'm a big fan of trouser jeans for people who have a more casual dress code otherwise, because you're still having a trouser-like pant, but you're still having a denim. So kind of finding that happy medium So I really encourage you, if you are a personal trainer or something like that, to kind of to get out of the yoga pants every once in a while. Plus, it will help you feel good. It's really hard to feel really great about yourself when you're in sweatpants all the time. That's just the reality of life. I don't know many people who can say they leave the house and just feel really awesome every day wearing yoga pants or sweatpants. So if anyone else has any questions, I would love to answer them. But so yes, hopefully this has been informational for everyone too, and kind of getting you thinking in a different way. If you are someone that's been wearing your your yoga pants every day, working from home, hopefully this has kind of been a little bit of an insight, maybe a different way of thinking for you that you would want to try. Maybe just getting in jeans. For me, like today, I'm wearing a top and some fun jeans, but I feel really good in it. And that's really, at the end of the day, what it's all about, is just feeling good, feeling like you can accomplish whatever you need to accomplish. Because when you feel good, we can do anything. And it just helps with your confidence level. And when you're confident, you get more done. You're more, even talking on the phone. People can tell when you feel a little bit more confident, when you're in that mindset. So kind of putting something on that changes your thought process for the day and thinking, okay, I'm in work mode now. That was the yoga pants were my workout wear before I started work. Then you change, maybe wash your face, take a shower, whatever you got to do. But set a schedule for yourself, just like people who go into an office. I hear business coaches all the time telling people who do work from home to set schedules for yourself, because a lot of us who work from home, and I've been guilty of this in the past as well, not setting a schedule for myself. So taking that lunch break, taking a break here and there, schedule that time in. Just like you're doing that, schedule time in your day to get ready for work. And I'm not saying you have to put a full face of makeup on and put a ball gown or anything on. Just decide what you want your work wardrobe or dress code to be. What's your work from home dress code for yourself? It just has to be something that you're comfortable with, something that's doable, but also will get you thinking work time. So if anyone else has any questions, I do have the Q&A option up. Otherwise, I'll hang out for another minute. That's been my content for today. Hopefully that was informational for you and fun. I hope it's a fun topic. I don't want it to be too serious, although it is a serious topic because it is your business and it's your work. Getting dressed should be something that isn't stressful for you. So if no one else has any questions, we will wrap up. Thank you all so much for spending a few moments of your afternoon on this Monday with me. I will be doing another topic here in a couple weeks. So if you have a topic that you would like me to discuss, feel free to get in touch with me through social media or through email at mallory@mallorysills.com is my email, or Image Success by Mallory is my Facebook page, at Mallory Sills on Twitter. I would love to hear from you and what you would like to hear about. I'm kind of throwing topics out there that I've come across people who I think could benefit from the topics. So let me know what you want to hear about. Otherwise, thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you all very soon.